power statement. Repetition is the mother of mastery. And so I wanted to give you the chance to recall your power statement. You can unmute and tell us, or you can share in the chat. Either way, those power statements are such an important guiding principle to remind you of who you are and what you stand for before anyone or anything else has the opportunity to derail. Heather, I love it. The sticky note in your car. I am able. Absolutely. Camille kicks ass at everything she does. Heck yeah. Heather, I reflected too on what you had shared about, like, there isn't trying. You're either doing or you're not doing. It's, it's like Yoda said, but it's also very true. You're either like in action or you're not in action. And that's a healthy mindset as well. All right, team. Well, Kristen and Diane, I'm happy to give you some additional context on what that power statement is and how important it is. But you are here today to learn more about the WOGA leadership experience. So you may recognize this slide from Lean In. And I've got my first slide here is the cohort experience. So what you will have is access to an online course called Speak Up to Level Up. Through the online course, you will be consuming that content individually and then paired with an accountability pod so that you'll have discussion questions and you and your accountability pod will decide on the timing that you meet. So in the online course, I thought it would be helpful to share some of the action-driven topics with you. This is not just a sit back and absorb it and then do nothing. I'm very committed to your transformation, to the same transformation that other ladies who have gone through this program have achieved. And that starts with mindset. Mindset is foundational to everything. It's something that we tend to take for granted a little bit until we start to get granular with it, and until we start to have some vocabulary around it. We started doing that a couple of weeks ago in Lean In. And without mindset, without having your mindset dialed in, it's like having this amazing car, but without fuel, right? Like you only want to just sit in an amazing car for so long without having the fuel to actually get you somewhere. And that's how I like to think about mindset. So that's the very first part of this course. Then the second part, and I'm going to give you a behind the scenes tour here in a minute too, is capitalizing on the unique strengths and the natural gifts that each of you bring. And where this flips traditional leadership courses on its head is that typically leadership courses start off with a gap or a weakness or something that we're trying to fill and close. And with Speak Up to Level Up, we start off with some impactful exercises for you to highlight and to surface your strengths, your gifts, your superpowers, the talents that you bring, the things that make you indispensable at work, and to ensure that you're aware of these. Sometimes we tend to dismiss the things that come easily to others, and it's something that can stand in your way of a promotion or an opportunity that certainly can come your way. And so we spend time right at the beginning of this course saying, no, wait a minute, what makes me uniquely me? And stepping into ownership of that. And I'm curious, does anybody maybe just want to comment on that? What's the difference between having a strength versus owning a strength? Like, does that question make sense? Does anybody want to comment?
So to me, it's like, just because you have it doesn't mean that you're going to be utilizing it.
Yep, I like that, Heather. Just because you have it doesn't mean you're utilizing. It's like the car again, right? Like you can have it, but what if you don't drive it?
Yeah, I was going to say something similar. Like, there's a difference between knowing that you have a power and stepping into it.
Yes. And this is, you gave me goosebumps with your answers. This is fully stepping into it so that you're not selling yourself short, so that you're not seeing somebody else access a special opportunity or, something that you're like, well, wait a minute, like I could have done that. And when you own your strength, it's similar to a bicep. Like that strength gets even bigger, and you can become the SME for it. There's a whole host of benefits that come from that. So this is very important in identification of what that is and the ownership. So far, so good. Okay. Our next module is about communication. This is always a fan favorite. You will learn about something called sound bites. In this module, it is an incredibly simple way to help you prepare for very common things, very important things, anything from how to introduce yourself, to how to start off a meeting, to how to participate in a meeting, to how to summarize a meeting so that you walk in confident, prepared, ready to go, even if you're not the SME in the room, and you also save a ton of time. In fact, a fun statistic on this, there was a woman who she led a 45-minute meeting every week using sound bites. She saved 15 minutes in that meeting every week, and there were 6 people in that meeting, and I did the math on that, and that totaled like 2 weeks of time that were saved from 15 minutes by using sound bites. So that's who wants to shave 2 weeks off of busy time, right? What would you do with an extra 2 weeks? So incredibly valuable. And this is also where I just like to point out that, talking is a behavior that we all know how to do. And Heather, I see your question. Talking is a behavior that we all know how to do, but communication is a skill. And whether that skill is shooting hoops or public speaking or knitting, skills require practice. And so you get a great chance to do that here in a safe environment. How does this sound so far? Good. Okay. And good. Heather, did you have a question? Or
I was actually just trying to say, heck yeah, me. Save 2 weeks. Yeah.
There you go. Love it. All right. Then there's executive presence that we talk about in there, because if you've got your strength, style, and communication, then we need to make sure the internal and the external are aligned and presenting properly so that you can own the room and do so with confidence. And did Zoom work when you join? There's supposed to be like a glittery thing and a quote that says, if you don't have a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. Did you see that when you logged in? No? All right, I gotta check. It's a new technology piece.
I didn't.
But I love that quote. It's from Shirley Chisholm, who was the first Black member of Congress. And so this is part of what that's helping you with. Also, you're going to learn about the importance of role models and how to find them. Have you heard the phrase, to be it, you have to see it? Have you heard that phrase? And I just listened to this really interesting podcast last night that was talking about emulation, assimilation, and innovation. And it was the exact same principle, how to find and align yourself with a role model. All right, now that's a lot of information. I also want to emphasize that this is about your authentic leadership. This is not trying to get you to step into something other than you are. It's saying, welcome, come as you are. Let's highlight your gifts and your strengths, and let's help you step into the ownership of it. So this leadership course is not going to say, hey, you have to do this or you have to be in that lane. It's going to help you lead as authentic you, because that doesn't require any extra energy. How's that sound? Good. Okay.
Good.
All right. So then, like I mentioned, you'll have the accountability pod and a community. So while you'll be watching some videos, and I'll show you the behind the scenes from the course here in a second, you'll be watching the videos independently. It's about an hour of watch time each week. Then you'll meet with your accountability pod. There are discussion questions, and you can decide what you want to do as far as actions and holding each other accountable, so you can drive the commitment. We will have a graduation ceremony. There's certificates. It's very official that you can present, and bonuses, and I'll talk about that in a minute too. What questions do you have so far? What stands out so far about the content? Anything that sounds particularly exciting or intriguing, or maybe like, I don't know, Jamie, sounds like this is something I've done before. I'd love to hear your honest feedback.
For me, my questions are just like kind of what Camille had already previously said is, how is this going to be structured? Are we going to be working on these things all consecutively, or are we going to kind of be doing like 1 week is one thing, and how kind of that works? So that's only mine.
Okay, great.
Sounds great. Great content.
Okay, cool. And Kristen, Diane, I just want to make sure I can't see you, so I don't know, but anything from you? Okay. All right, we'll take a look at this video, ladies, and if there's a particular part of this that you want me to go back to, I can always log into the course itself. But here you see, this is the home screen. This is what you will have access to right when you join. There's pre-work, syllabus, objectives, some things to get your mind in the right spot, and then Heather to answer your question. See here how it says module 1, and then there's lessons underneath. 1 module per week will release on Sundays. So to release on Sunday, it's open then for the rest of the course. And it is intended to be very easily digestible. It's intended to complement an already busy schedule. The videos are anywhere between 2.5 minutes, 15 minutes. So it has the elements of micro learning. It doesn't say, hey, sit down and watch this for 2 hours. Very much designed with your attention span and your schedule in mind. Does that make sense so far? There's usually handouts that go along with it. Sometimes there's additional videos, and then who likes to take a quiz and test your knowledge? You've got a quiz at the end of each section, which you can see down here. And then there's discussion questions. So these are, hi, Kristen, the guided discussion questions that you'll use within your accountability pod. In previous versions of this course, there was a live session every week that complemented the additional modules. And so that's optional. If you want to watch that live session, it's always a little bit different than what was in the content itself. And then you've also got bonus content. And you'll have access to this for 6 months, by the way. So this is showing you, oh, let me share sound. You'll have a video in each one, and then once you complete the video, push the magic button and it will advance you to the next lesson. So it's very user-friendly, pretty slick little system. And then here you go, here's your bonus content. So if you're left wanting more from the subject matter of that module, you'll find another podcast, a video, a book recommendation, some other things that correspond to it. And then the following Sunday, the next module will be released, and same plan. What questions do you have? Does it feel doable so far?
Yep.
You said those are each an hour?
Each module is about an hour total, Diane. And each of these videos like that you see here are anywhere from 2.5 minutes to 13 minutes.
Okay.
Yep.
And is it each module or each lesson that's on Sunday released?
1 module is released with all the corresponding lessons. So module 3, for example, will be released on, I think, March 20, whatever that Sunday is. And then you have the recommendation is that you watch that content that week, but you also have access to the course for 6 months. So you can, because I often hear, how long do I have this to? Because I want to go back and watch it. So yeah, absolutely have that. All right. Kristen, any questions from you on that? Okay.
No, Jamie, I don't know. Thank you, though.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. The main thing I want to emphasize here is the outcome and the outcomes and the results. This isn't just a sit back and watch it and it's nice. This is an actual, like, no, go out and do something so you experience the transformation. I shared a few of these testimonials at Lean In. Just wanted to highlight a few of them again. This comes from Karen Brown, and these were all unsolicited, posted on LinkedIn. It was kind of fun to I got tagged and I was like, oh, how wonderful. as you can see, can't recommend this enough. My self-confidence is up, my communication skills have improved, and I have countless takeaways for which I will be forever grateful. That's the exact same kind of comment that I would love to hear from you. And additionally, this is from Kelly. Every single word in here I felt like was worth underlining, so I didn't underline the whole thing. But as you can see, she graduated with honors. She got 100% on the quizzes. The middle paragraph, she won an inspiration award, which is fun because you'll be able to nominate fellow members for that. And sharing in the groups is where she said she really experienced the transformation. Like I said at Lean in a couple of weeks ago, there's a lot of words that you'll hear me say, but the words that you hear you say, those are the ones that drive your transformation. And so this environment is set up so that you can hear yourself, you can practice, you can do it in a safe environment, and then go do it out there. Not included here, but Kelly showed up one day and she said, I'm a whole new person. And she had asked the CEO to lunch and he said yes. So pretty exciting. And then one more for you here. This is from a woman named Amanda. She's doing great things as far as expanding her network, owning her skills. And here she credits Sulu to this. This is all thanks to the confidence and tactics I gained in Sulu. My team continues to evolve and improve. Things are going great. Thanks again for all the guidance, Jamie. So Heather, along the lines of what you were asking about, like, how can I say this will help my team? What you're learning here, I would love for you to share with your team. And in the letter, which I'm going to share with you here in a second, that you can use to request funds, it'll share that too. Like, here's how this benefits the team. Right? It's very much abundance mindset and all ships rise with the tide, my kind of mentality.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Alrighty. These are the takeaways that Catman had shared, and this is actually a truncated list because I needed to be able to fit it all on the screen. I won't read these one by one, but this was a course that she took 3 years ago and is still using what she learned in it. It definitely has the sticky factor. And then here, timing. The course will open on March 9th. It goes through April 15th. Like I mentioned, the modules release on Sundays, so you can watch at your convenience. It's about 1 hour per week of watch time, Diane, like you were asking, and then you'll be part of an accountability pod. The accountability pods are in flux a little bit until we know who's signing up, and you'll decide when you and your accountability pod want to meet. Some accountability pods meet weekly, some meet every other week. All right, registration is open through March 6th. Space is limited. What questions do we have so far? How are you feeling?
What is the accountability pod?
So the accountability pod is, so let's say you, Camille, Kristen, and Diane all register for this course. Then your accountability pod, you'll want to either meet virtually every week or, at a minimum, connect over email and discuss the questions that are a part of each module. So that's just another layer of, okay, here's what I learned and here's how I applied it. Yeah, the accountability pods, there's some pretty cool friendships, relationships that usually come of that, and just the support is especially helpful and nice sometimes to have somebody outside of your company who's experiencing something very similar and you're both going after it together. Yeah, great question, Heather. Okay, got some bonuses to share, and then imagine everyone's curious about how to request funds. Do a little mini training on that. You've got some additional mini courses that are included with this. How to have a tough conversation. Has anybody had one of those recently? I had to have one this morning and I used this. It was very helpful. So you got that. Also something called positive intelligence, or PQ. Has anybody heard of PQ? You can think about it like a sibling to IQ and EQ. It's a measure of mental fitness. So you can see like how mentally tough you are, and if you want to increase toughness, some healthy ways to do that. You also get a WOGA membership. Now, I know if you are already a member of WOGA, you can gift this to someone else. And again, this is where we're just really trying to step into abundance mindset and how we're expanding it. And then sign up bonus. The first and last two to register will receive a private coaching session from yours truly. And normally you can't just get one of those that comes part of a package. So trying to do everything I can to help incentivize. And then the investment, as you know, $1,600, and you can check with your employer on this. Is anybody, I'm sure there's some questions around this. On the next few slides, I'm going to show you a copy of the letter. Actually, I'm going to attach it here. But I'm curious what questions you have, because I'm going to give you some pointers of how to request funds on this, but I'm just curious to hear your thoughts on the price point. Is this something you're thinking about doing for yourself? Is it something that you want to ask your company? Give me a little feedback on that, so that'll help me shape what I say here.
For me, definitely company, or at least a part of. I would love to say I could do that right now, but I can't. So.
Fair enough.
But what you're getting is huge. I definitely see the positive impact, and I one day will definitely do this. Hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't have like yes, I have the coaching sessions. I don't have a sign up today and, get this, because it's an investment in you, and I am very confident that you will get your ROI. And I'm going to share some things here to help you in just a second. But go ahead and download the document that I just posted in chat. Let me know when you've got it. Camille, were you able to get it? Heather, you got it? Okay. Kristen, were you able to get it? Diane, were you able to?
It's opening right now.
Okay, great. Okay, so this is a screenshot. And Diane, is this something that you're thinking about self-funding or requesting funds?
Yes, both.
Both, either? Okay. So this is recommended verbiage, ladies. I can tell you there is a success rate with this. Your manager, obviously, way better than I do. So make this your own, and this is just part of it. You'll see the rest of it with the full document. But this gives you some of the benefits. Heather, this answers more of your questions too about, right, how exactly does this benefit my team? And it's purposely a Word document, so that it's really easy for you to edit and, like I said, make your own. Is this helpful?
Does this have the new dates?
It's not, but it's
No.
a Word document, so we could edit it. Yeah.
Good call, Diane. I was like, in my head, I'm like, we updated the website, the emails. Correct. The dates on this will need to be updated. Which, thank you for mentioning that. I will do before.
Looks like the cost also needs to be updated. It says $1,650, maybe. I'm not sure.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, it should just be 1,600. Oh, it says 2024 too. Jeez. Okay. All right. Well, let me get this cleaned up and I'll send out the updated version to you. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, well, we had to change the date. It's a significant undertaking, but all is well, I assure you, on the technology side. Okay, would you like a few asking tips in requesting these funds? And this is really applicable here and anywhere.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, you're getting a little mini negotiation training here. All right, so some asking tips. Here's some mindset. If you don't ask, you've already got the no, right? You know this, but it's helpful to hear it out loud. As of this moment, 2:32 p.m. Mountain Time on February 24th, you've got the no at this moment. Go in though, however, go in with the mentality that you just might get a yes. Does that change your energy even thinking about it? Like, you know what? I think they'll probably say yes. And it could, it doesn't guarantee it either way, but it sure helps your energy. And then consider this, like, I deserve this. I mean, $1,600 for a company is not that much money. And, some even have funds earmarked per employee. Heather, maybe that was the question that up in your interview. So now might be a great time to ask. All right. And then I have a key question. That I want you to ask if you receive a no, but this is such a high value question, ladies. This is something that my clients have literally earned additional tens of thousands of dollars by asking this question. So I would like to give this to you, but I want to do a little pro bono exchange here. That when you go to use this question, will you let me know what answer you get? Can we make that agreement? Can we make that deal? I just want to know what feedback you get. Okay, I see a nod from Heather. I see a nod from Camille. Diane, can I get your sign off on that?
Sure.
Cool, thank you. Kristen, are you with us? Can I get your sign off on this too? Okay, here's the magic question, ladies. Is this. You are worth this. I can, appreciate everyone's in different circumstances, but there are women who have come out of this with promotions. There are women who have come out of this with fresh perspectives. There are women who have come out of this just leaving a meeting saying, oh my gosh, that finally went the way I wanted it to go. And it was these small tweaks. It's not some big, massive difference that you need to make. And I also if I can help in any way, I will. Currently on the registration page, which I'll drop here in the chat, it says either one payment of $1,600 or two for $800. I will even do this in 3 payments of $533. So this is something, just message me on that because it's not on the website, but if that's helpful, I will do that for you. Feedback, questions. I have a little story to close us out, but I would love to know, have I answered the question that you wanted answered?
So, this is Camille. Yes, you've answered the questions that I want answered. And I want to thank you for putting yourself out there to help us as much as you are. This is the first time that I've had someone who's leading a workshop or who is offering something, not just support you in terms of how you can pay for it, but how do you get the yes, because that's part of what this is going to teach you.
100%.
Right. And so it's pretty brilliant that you're doing this. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I mean, this is like, I want you to win. And the things that you learn here, they're applicable over and over again. And it's just like, once you start building that muscle, your brain starts to go, like, I lifted that. Now what can I lift? And now what can I lift? I mean, like that testimonial that you saw, I met with my boss's boss for lunch. Like, that's not where Amanda started. Okay, well, I have a little story, and then I would, again, just love to hear comments, questions, what you're thinking. So this story has to do with a pair of earrings. Do you have like your go-to pair of earrings that requires like zero thought, like no decision-making tokens, whatever required to put them on? Okay, so I'm not wearing them today, but I do have that pair. And I went to go take them out of my jewelry box. This was just a couple weeks ago, and I immediately found the one and I couldn't find the other. and there's like 4 quadrants in the top of my jewelry box. And so I'm like digging around trying to find it, but I was up against, a Zoom call. And so I was like, all right, never mind, another pair today. I'll come back and look later. Well, I came back later that evening to look, and I wind up moving each earring quadrant by quadrant of trying to find it, and I can't find it. I pull the dresser away from the wall where my jewelry box sits, thinking, well, maybe it fell down on the floor. I did find a bunch of dust, so I went downstairs, got the hand vac, did that, pushed it back, and I gave up that night. I was like, I don't know where this earring is. A few days later, it occurs to me, I'm like, oh, I know what happened. My baby girl will turn 1 this Saturday, and she's in this phase where she likes to pull mommy's earrings out. And I thought, I bet Hollis pulled it out of my ear, and I just took it and shoved it in a pocket and redirected her energy elsewhere. So I go back into my closet and I search my pants pockets, my hoodies, like anything that I've been wearing in the past week that had a pocket. I still don't find it. Well, I'm standing there in my closet, ladies, and all of a sudden I get this like light bulb moment. And it occurs to me that as I open up the jewelry box, which is about chest high, I've been looking at it from the exact same angle this whole time. Maybe I just need to change my point of view. So I take the jewelry box off of my dresser, I set it in my closet, I lift the lid, and guess what? Immediately appears to me but my earring, which was right here behind this black bead that you see there on the left side. It was there the entire time, and yet I wasted so much time and energy trying to find something that, had I just shifted my point of view, was literally right in front of me. I want you to think about this course, this resource, that same way. The things that you're trying to achieve at work, the struggles that you want to overcome, or even just that higher level of confidence that you want to step into, I assure you, it is not far from your viewpoint whatsoever. This will be your opportunity to shift that point of view and to have those same aha moments to go, oh, there it is. Right? That's exactly what I want you to achieve from this. All right, my friends. Well, that is the website. But I'd really love to know your feedback. Just, are you thinking about joining, or are you not thinking about joining? Like, what does your commitment look like from here to request funds, or to go this on your own? How can I help you?
I think the time frame is definitely doable. Like you said, you release the module, that's about an hour once a week. We are able to set up little pod meetings in order to keep us like actively engaged in it. And there's like 2 to 13 minutes each, and so you had a handful of videos on each, and so I think that's definitely doable. I think it's just more of just making sure that we continue to stay committed and put ourselves first. Like you said, like, we are worthy.
Yes, 100%. Great.